Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Animal Crossing and Chill. This is Ryan. Hope you guys are doing well. Friday, July 31st, 6:21 a.m. I know it's a little bit later than I usually record, but I wanted to kind of play a little bit this morning and kind of get my thoughts in line before I talk about what I wanted to talk about. So I've already kind of done some stuff on the island this morning, but I still wanted to take some time this morning to play a little bit and kind of talk to you guys. So before I get into it, hope you guys have been enjoying the updates so far. Hope you guys have been enjoying fireworks if you've gone into Sunday already. And if you've used Dream Suites, hopefully you guys have been touring some really, really awesome islands. As you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, my island is unrecognizable. There is essentially nothing left except for this one bridge that I need to get rid of. I've already talked to Tom Nook about getting rid of it, so that will be demolished here soon. And then just up here, actually, the flower breeding garden is essentially completely empty except for these 5 lilies of the valley here. So let me take a look. Yeah, that'll pretty much do it. So really, it's just these 3 kind of now random inclines that are on the island, and then that one bridge. So once that bridge is gone, I think would be in a good spot to finally start terraforming back everything. And looking at this, I'm not too concerned about that incline on the right, but with the time frame, that means that if we remove 1 incline a day, then by Tuesday, I will have everything completely gone. Any remnant of the island in the past will no longer be there. I'm gonna open this up because I'm gonna do a little bit of terraforming this morning as well, by just simply getting rid of this flower breeding section here. But wanted to take some time this morning primarily to talk about the Wave 2 update, my thoughts on it, and also kind of see what you guys thought on it too. So for the Wave 2 update, there are a lot of updates in it that were very upfront. As I mentioned before, the Dream Suites was the biggest thing. And then, of course, we get fireworks shows every Sunday now, which is a previous feature from other Animal Crossing games, which, by the way, that notion I'm going to be talking about as well. I'm going to go ahead and clean up my flowers here, so I'm going to go get a shovel. So first, let's talk about some of the hidden features that you guys may or may not know about. So I know one of the hidden features that they didn't discuss was and it's kind of a quality of life change, is the ability to search up designs on the Able Sisters design kiosk. Now, I don't quite know how that works. I don't know if you just type in path, and anybody who's named a design path before, you can then find their design, or how the whole process works. I have absolutely no idea. But that's a nice quality of life change. It definitely helps with when you're trying to... that's not what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for a wardrobe. I'm looking for a DIY bench and materials. So that's an awesome quality of life change. Again, I don't know how it works. I haven't used it myself, but I think it's awesome. In addition, we also have a new DIY recipe in the form of a King Tut Mask, which, for those that don't know, is this really awesome new piece of headgear that when you run around with it, I guess it's so heavy that it eventually causes your character to trip, which is just great. It's just a neat little kind of like feature in the game. I think honestly it would get old pretty quickly for most people, but the fact that we even have it, just is super awesome. I'm trying to think of what else they added. I also think they increased the oh my god. This is what happens when I try to do this while talking. I completely forget what I'm supposed to be doing. Put that in the pocket and place it down. So I think they increased the swim speed as well, which is really cool. I don't know what that means in regards to the swim speed of things like the Gigas Giant Clam. I don't know if they've like increased that speed to match it, but I know that in general, being able to swim faster, if you're looking for things like Gullivar's communicator, or getting a scallop for Pascal. I know that that's going to shave off a lot of time over the amount of time that you have to swim around. So that's really awesome. I wish there were more quality of life changes though. Like overall, that was pretty much it. I still have kind of like an irk with the dialogue system in this game. When I was demolishing that bridge earlier today, I have to go through the dialogue with Tom Nook about I want to destroy this bridge and that thing and stuff like that, and it's so kind of bleh that one of the you know, when you go in to demolish something, the default option is no, wait, I want to think about it, instead of, you know, yes, I want to demolish it, right? Like, you've already gotten that far into the dialogue. I'm pretty sure if you've gotten that far into the dialogue, you do want to destroy whatever it is that you're trying to destroy. And I accidentally clicked on, you know, which I'm sure most people have, I accidentally clicked on not wanting to demolish it, and then I had to go through the entire dialogue all over again. And so I don't know if they're ever going to do anything with dialogue in this game in regards to speeding it up or making it more efficient. But either way, that was one quality of life change that I know for a fact I really, really wanted. And currently, the only dialogue changes that they've really made are from Sahara. Not having to constantly go through Sahara's dialogue to purchase more rugs and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for the changes that weren't immediately announced. But I did want to talk about the fireworks, and particularly the Dream Suite update, and maybe get your guys' thoughts on it too, in regards to what you guys thought. Let me get the trash can out here so I can start throwing these flowers away. So first, the fireworks show. Now, for those that don't know, because for a lot of people, Animal Crossing New Horizons is their very first game for Animal Crossing. The fireworks show is actually a previous event that came about in previous Animal Crossing games that happened again in August, and it was every Sunday. I'm pretty sure that information is accurate. And now we have it in New Horizons, and in this time, well, not this time. And with the fireworks show, you get the ability to also make custom fireworks and stuff like that. And what I wanted to talk about in regards to the fireworks show primarily was the custom fireworks. When I first saw the fireworks show, and this is why I wanted to wait a few days before speaking my thoughts on it, because I know that I wouldn't have been able to form these opinions and thoughts the moment I saw the trailer. When it comes to custom fireworks, I think that is a potential recipe for disaster. You know, yes, there are going to be people who use the fireworks show as a means to make not so wholesome or family-friendly fireworks and stuff like that. And I don't know if that's something that they thought about when they added the ability to make custom fireworks and stuff like that. I think, honestly, I would have been totally fine not having custom fireworks whatsoever, and just enjoy fireworks that they put in the game in general. But with custom fireworks, people are going to make some... I'm already sure people are already doing this. People can make some pretty weird fireworks, which I'm not going to discuss here on this video, but I'm sure you guys can use your imagination to figure out exactly what I'm talking about. And, you know, what I could imagine is maybe someone playing this with their son or daughter. I get a lot of comments from parents, both on Twitch and on YouTube, about how they play this game with their child. And I don't know if this is gonna happen, but my fear would be like the parent is playing Animal Crossing with their child, not necessarily together, but maybe like the parent is playing Animal Crossing with their friends, and their kid is watching, and their friend has a custom firework that isn't so very family friendly or safe for work, and now, you know, now that other person's son or daughter has been exposed to that. Now, like, don't get me wrong, I get it, right? When it comes to online activity and stuff like that, it's up to the parents to monitor, you know, what their children are being exposed to. But you wouldn't expect something like that in an Animal Crossing game. You know what I mean? Like, with how wholesome and how friendly the game looks, it's one of those things where it's like, it's almost like you wouldn't expect people to do that in the game, but the online community is pretty weird, and people will definitely do that. So that was my overall thought process on the fireworks show. I mean, custom fireworks are great, but I already know that, like, every other custom firework is going to be something pretty, we'll use the word naughty. So yeah, what are you guys' thoughts on that? Do you guys care? Do you guys think that it was a bad idea to have custom fireworks? You know, what are you guys' thoughts? So second thing that I wanted to talk about primarily was the Dream Suite function, and this is the one that I had the most opinions on. And you know, don't get me wrong. As someone who is a content creator, speaking of content creation, one more hidden feature. In the camera app, you can now press the right stick to turn the HUD off in your camera. For those that don't know, this is a feature that content creators would use to make very elaborate shots like this, where they can maneuver the camera around and add different filters and stuff like that without seeing the mini-map and stuff like that and the tool and time. This was a feature that was taken out once 1.3.0 came out, which upset quite a bit of content creators. I don't think there was not one person who makes content who wasn't upset by that. But now 3 weeks later, we have it back in the game. And the weirdest thing about that is, like, there were a lot of people who were like, "Oh, well, you know, maybe it's just they were listening to fan input and stuff like that, or gamer input and stuff, and maybe they added it back in." But my thought process is, but it wasn't harming anything, you know? Like, it wasn't doing anything to deter from the quality of the game. I didn't understand the change. I'm glad that it's back in, but if their intention was to keep or to put it back in the game later on, then they should have just left the glitch in there until they released it, and then fix the glitch to just make it a permanent feature. But that's just my thought process. I thought about recording like an intro for these videos that required me to be able to turn the HUD off. And once they turned that feature off, that was put on the back burner for the last 3 weeks. But now that it's back, maybe I can work on it now. Either way, detracted there a little bit to talk about a feature that I completely forgot when I first started this video. So the Wave 2 update, Dream Suites. Now, as a content creator, I think the Dream Suites are amazing. Being able to go around and see other people's islands, and for those that don't know, I'm actually going to be doing a ton of island tours over on Twitch once this whole thing is completely flattened. I'll be doing a ton of Dream Suite tours because I can go through Dream Suite tours a lot faster than user-guided tours, because I have to wait for the dodo code, and then I have to fly through DAL and stuff like that, and the cutscenes and all the dialogue. So Dream Suites are going to be the most efficient way for me to tour a ton of islands on stream in a short amount of time. And I'll actually be using this function quite a lot in the next few weeks to get some ideas about what to put on my own island. But the Dream Suite function for me is actually kind of like a disappointment. And it's a disappointment overall because of the fact that it's a good majority of what this update is, the Wave 2 update. And it's so significantly different from the Wave 1 update. In the Wave 1 update, what I mean by that is this. In the Wave 1 update, there is not one thing from the Wave 1 update that people couldn't partake in. You know, everybody gets to meet Pascal. Everybody gets to meet Gullivar. Everybody gets to swim. Everybody gets to dive. Everybody got everything in the Wave 1 update. And in this update, only the people who have Nintendo Switch Online get to experience Dream Suites and being able to visit other people's islands without that person actually having to be there. For those that don't know the difference between, or the major differences between Dream Suite and visiting someone's island, as I mentioned before, the other person actually has to be on their own island in order for you to go to their island. Now, the advantage to this is that when you go to visit someone else's island personally while they're there, you do get to do things like pick up DIYs and dig up flowers if your goal to go there was to get flowers that you don't have, and pick fruit and stuff like that, because none of the changes that you make to their island while you're in their Dream Suite are actually going to affect their real-life island, which makes sense. But, you know, as I mentioned, the disadvantage is that they have to be there. If there's a time zone difference, then obviously you guys have to, you know, work around when you guys can get online together to do an island visit and stuff like that. For Dream Suites, all you need is just a code, and you can visit that island whenever you want to. And that's the advantage right there. But for those that don't have Nintendo Switch Online, visiting other people's islands is still going to be a far-off option for them if that's something they were really interested in. And honestly, I feel like the Luna Dream Suite update should have been an update in and of itself, because of the fact that, like I said, it's so significantly different from the Wave 1 update in regards to the accessibility for players. Now, I understand that there are some people who either don't see the value in Nintendo Switch Online, they just don't want to buy it, maybe they can't buy it, I don't know the circumstances, but regardless, you know, if you don't have Nintendo Switch Online, the Wave 2 update was essentially a 3-minute long video talking about how you get fireworks every Sunday. And, you know, I feel like that's very unfair to those who don't have Nintendo Switch Online, that a big update that was planned for the game that people have been anticipating for a long time now. Like, once the Wave 1 update came out, there was a lot of speculation about what the Wave 2 update could potentially contain. And even though I think that we all expected Dream Suites to be part of an update, I don't know if we expect... I don't know, it's weird that it's in this type of update, you know? Like, they introduced essentially 2 new characters into the game with the Wave 1 update. And I think it just would... Yes, they introduced another character, essentially, in Luna. But I think DLC content... Or not DLC. Well, technically it is DLC. You're downloading it. Every time I think of DLC, I think of, like, microtransactions. When it comes to updates and stuff like that, I feel like the Dream Suite function is something that could have been put on the back burner for other features, like general quality of life updates and stuff like that. I know that we're all still really wanting to be able to bulk buy and bulk craft things. The dialogue, as I mentioned earlier, the dialogue options and the dialogue in general in this game, it can be quite tedious at times. And it's so weird to me that, like, stuff like that, changes like those, are being put, you know, by the wayside in favor of these updates that aren't essentially for everybody. There aren't a lot of, you know, there aren't people who want to go to other islands. There aren't people who even have the ability to go to other islands and stuff like that. And so my biggest disappointment with this update was that it's not available to everybody. That's pretty much it. And it doesn't, unfortunately, change anything about the game itself. Pascal was a wonderful addition because he was an added feature to another added feature, right? Talking to Pascal and getting new items from Pascal was a consequence of being able to dive and get new items like deep-sea creatures and stuff to enhance the look of your museum. Gullivar is a new NPC that also implemented diving and swimming that also gives you new items. And now you can do things like change some designs on your island. You know, maybe now you have a pirate-themed island, or maybe you have a pirate-themed room in your house. I don't really know. But the Dream Suite function itself doesn't really add anything to the game in terms of its overall quality. We already had Dream Suites in the past, and this is another thing too that I wanted to talk about. One of the things that I see a lot on my Twitch channel is how a lot of people wish that the game itself added new features that separated it from previous games. Every time on stream I talk about new changes, every time I talk about new changes, what they are essentially is just new changes from old games. There's not really anything new. Swimming is a function of the old games. Dream Suites are a function of the old games, and stuff like that. And when all they're doing is adding in features that were in previous games, what this does is it essentially kind of fuels the emotion that people have that this is an incomplete game. And I feel like I've discussed this in previous videos, but if you haven't heard it before, there are a lot of people who feel like this game was released early for the sake of convenience, and it just feels like it's incomplete in comparison to previous Animal Crossing games. And the fact that Animal Crossing isn't really adding anything new to separate it from the previous games, and you have to just, like, wait for them to come into the game, it makes people feel like, well, maybe they should have waited to release it. And so I don't know what the first new feature is going to be that makes Animal Crossing significantly different from the other games. And maybe it's already been out and I just don't know about it. I mean, if it is, let me know in the comment section down below. But you know, for the most part, every time I look up a new feature, it ends up being like this feature was in literally all the other games beforehand, and now it's being added to New Horizons. So I know that there are a lot of people that are frustrated in that regard. I can't... Do I have this beetle or stag already? I can't remember. Let's find out. I think I do. Yes, I do. It's a rainbow stag. Yep. All right. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Don't get me wrong. I love the Dream Suite function, and I'm glad that I'm going to be able to go around and visit other people's islands and use it as a means to get some ideas for my own islands. And yes, I can use things like Reddit and Pinterest and Instagram to get stuff like that, but it's different when you're seeing it in, you know, live and you're actually walking around the island. It's like, have you guys ever wow, that was fast. Have you guys ever looked at like homes and like either online, like in your area, and you see them like the inside and there's no furniture in there, and it's hard for you to imagine what it would be like to live in there because there's no furniture? That's me when it comes to browsing ideas from Instagram and Reddit and Pinterest and stuff like that. Is like, if I can't be there to see it like in person, it's hard for me to really imagine it on my own island, because you also don't get a good idea of scale for stuff like that. So back to the home analogy. If ever I'm browsing like what a house looks like on the inside and there's no furniture in it, it's hard for me to picture what it would be like to actually live in there. And so I don't feel any sort of way towards the interior whatsoever. But if there's like couches and stuff like that, if there's chairs set up, if it makes it look lived in, then I can see myself living in there. And so Dream Suites are a wonderful function for me because I get to see those stuff live and I get to imagine it on my own island and stuff like that. But as I mentioned, this update was a big disappointment for those who do not have Nintendo Switch Online. But either way, it's getting pretty late in the morning. I do still have to get ready for work here. So I'm gonna go ahead and call this one a video here. I'm actually gonna go to the little kind of rock beach here to end the video. But what are your guys' thoughts? What do you guys think on the Dream Suite function? Do you guys like it? Was it kind of underwhelming for everybody? Was it more than you guys were expecting? Was it more than what you guys were hoping for? Let me know in the comments section down below. I'd love to know. Let's get into a pose here. Bam. I'd love to know your guys' thoughts on it. What you guys hope as well coming from the August update, things like that. And yeah, let me know in the comments section. Otherwise, that'll do it for this video of Animal Crossing and Chill. I know it was a little bit later, but as I mentioned, I wanted to make sure that I got my thoughts out on this kind of stuff beforehand. That way, when I did talk about it, I kind of knew exactly what I was going to say. So I hope that was okay. I know we didn't really get to enjoy the 5 a.m. music, but I did want to take some time today and talk about it, so hope that was okay. Otherwise, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it very much. If you're new to the Animal Crossing and Chill series and new to my channel and are interested in seeing more videos like this in the future, be sure to subscribe and turn notifications on. That way you can be updated whenever videos like this are posted. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to give it a like. Always helps as well. Otherwise, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to go get ready for work. Thank you again for hanging out with me. Appreciate it very much. And until next time, have a wonderful day.